inside Mexico's mountain magic mushroom paradise.
The alliteration. I love that.
It's a special place in terms of its location, and it has this kind of energy to it. The population of the town is about 700 people or so. Wow. And it has become probably the epicenter of magic mushroom tourism, certainly in Mexico, if not the world.
Wow.
And, with that constant stream of tourists, there comes good things and there comes bad things. So, it's complicated.
You had a video that was on IG, right? Yeah, if we could pull that up. Here we go.
Yeah. This small town in the Oaxacan Sierra is all about mushrooms. San Jose del Pacifico has become the tourism epicenter of mushroom culture in Mexico.
This is the mushroom cabin. Mushroom light, mushroom bed, mushroom top.
Mushroom murals, mushroom keychains, mushroom salt shakers, and magic mushrooms. So the town's kind of filled with backpackers. Everywhere you look, they're looking to learn about themselves with magic mushrooms. So the people of San Jose del Pacifico seem to have embraced the tourism.
Pero gracias a Dios este pueblo, por lo mismo que llega turismo, pues hace que quienes hacen pan se venda el pan. Quien hace tortillas se vende las tortillas, quien ofrece comida, pues ¿qué? Porque también no solamente el hongo se usa con el fin de estar ahí como que usarlo como droga, no. Comentan que a través del hongo, por ahí el mismo cerebro cuando están viajando les dice su enfermedad que tienen, con qué se cura.
If people do get out of hand, they basically take the person, chuck them in their one-cell lockup, and then remove them from the town.
Lo defendemos como el uso de medicina tradicional solamente. Por esa razón es que queremos convencer a los usuarios y turistas de que tienen que venir con ese objetivo.
Okay, wait. So if somebody gets out of town, what, they toss you in the cell? And
yeah, what?
Yeah, so I guess
who also, because it's 700 people. How many? Is it police? Is it just some local people who say, hey, yo, buddy?
Let me take a step back on that, too, because I think it's important to understand the legality of mushrooms in Mexico and in the region. So, technically, psilocybin mushrooms are illegal in Mexico. But there's a massive caveat in the legal code that indigenous communities are exempt with the use of mushrooms, the use of peyote, other sacred plants and fungi within the country. So San Jose del Pacifico is a town that is largely indigenous. So with that, it's sort of this legal loophole where they're allowed to sell it for if it's used in some sort of traditional sense. I'm not going to say that the majority of the mushroom tourists are taking it necessarily with this kind of traditional aspect or with a shaman or someone from the community, but it's being sold to them by people in the community. So it's a legal sort of loophole. Now, to answer your second question about the cops, there's the fact is that in the mountains of Mexico, mountains of Oaxaca, each town does not have its own local police force because they're generally ran in a municipality that will be a number of towns that can be as far as an hour, 2 hours away. And San Jose del Pacifico is not the municipal head. So the second person interviewed in that video, he's the regional representative, but he's essentially the only government elected official in the town, let alone no police force. The police force is about an hour away. So yeah, the community has taken it upon themselves for a long time. They have their own little network. They're kind of a whisper network. When someone starts moving out of line, they come, all the young people in the community, grab that person, take him down to the municipal hall, chuck him in the lockup, and essentially get whatever it is sorted out, put him in a truck or something, take him out of town, leave them at a bus stop, and
that's that.
Well, no, I think because they're not allowed back in after.
Wow.
I'm curious about these backpackers. You must have seen some of them. Where are these people coming from?
All over, really all over. I met like, yeah, there's a number of Americans and Canadians, but I met a number of people from Europe, people from Asia, people from South America. They're really coming from all over the world. And there's also a really large, internal Mexican traveler scene. So you get a lot of Mexico City, you get people from, Monterrey, Guadalajara, all the big hubs. People from all over the country come. And the thing about this town, too, is like it is so strategically located on, the backpacker trail, whatever that is. There's the capital of Oaxaca State, Oaxaca City, is one of the coolest, hippest, artiest, a culinary hub, an awesome place. That's 4 hours on one side. Then 4 hours on the other side of this town are all the beaches of like Puerto Escondido, Zipolite, Mazunte. You really get a wide range of people that are on that route.
The people that you talk to in general, they seem pretty positive about it. And you said you talked to somebody who felt ostracized because he wasn't happy about this.
He was kind of sort of reflecting on how he thought that the traditional practice in the community, when he was younger, everyone in the community, they took mushrooms when they were having serious personal problems or when they were having serious health problems. It was very much with intention, and it was something that, had traditionally been done there. He believes that that's being lost. But at the same time, his brother right above the house opened a little restaurant. And inside that restaurant, there was a tourist from California who had just bought mushrooms from his brother, like right above the house. So it's, and across the road from him are these mushroom cabins and things. So it's this wave that is out of his control.
I'm curious, you were talking about too, there's different types of mushrooms for like all the people in chat asking about like the actual mushrooms that you can find there.
So there's the first kind is the pajaritos, which means like the little birds. And these are sort of, these are the kind that if you were just wanted to kind of have a buzz and stuff, and it makes you laugh a lot and you have fun. Like those are not meant for health or therapeutic purposes. Then you have the derrumbe, which means collapse. Sort of, that would be the best translation, I think, in English in this context would be like the collapse. That's for dealing with your own personal issues, trying to gain clarity on things, work through whatever it is. And I will say that the derrumbes as well within them, you'll see they have these sort of like tops. That are varying sizes. And you'll find some that have these big mushroom tops. Those are often called maestros. And those are meant to maestro means teacher. Those are the ones that really give you that kind of personal knowledge about yourself. And then the final kind is the San Isidro. That's for specific sort of health problems. It's you don't take that one just to have fun. It's like if you have cancer, for example, like you would, that could the people in that community believe that could help you with that. Let me just say one more thing about the Instagram video. The first guy I talked to in that one, he didn't work in tourism. Unfortunately, this was not in the video. And he had really not even tried mushrooms much in his life until he got diabetes in his elder years, and he started taking the San Isidros, and he started noticing his health improving, and now he wants to turn his house into a cafe and embrace the tourism industry. The thing to know about San Jose del Pacifico is it is the exception, it is not the rule. Like the history of psychedelic mushrooms globally, they existed in various places around the world, but they were not known about outside of several indigenous groups around the world. Foreigners, Westerners, they only discovered psychedelic mushrooms in the 1950s, and it happened in Oaxaca. So Oaxaca was kind of ground zero for this secret being let out of the bag. It's not just San Jose del Pacifico that has these mushrooms. They are native to numerous sierras around the state. it's specifically, there's another town called Huautla de Jimenez, and that's about 6 or 7 hours north of Oaxaca City. It's very far away from kind of the tourist area. So in the 1950s, there was an American banking executive / mycologist, which is a mushroom fungi expert. He did something pretty sketchy. He started visiting Huautla de Jimenez because he'd heard about this, and basically like gained trust of people in the community, was eventually able to watch, not participate, watch one of these nighttime rituals, because traditionally there, the mushroom experience was for health, for therapy, and they were done at nighttime. After watching, he eventually convinced a local shaman named Maria Sabina, who is often considered like the high priestess of mushroom culture at this point. He convinced her to let him attend with a photographer, and he promised that he would not like publish the photos or tell the secret or anything like that. And he and the photographer were allowed to participate in the ceremony. That essentially ended up being a bold-faced lie. 2 years later, he published a story in Life magazine, which in the 1950s was, one of the most important magazines in the country, as well as publishing a book on mycology. And after that, the floodgates opened. Like tons of celebrities like Bob Dylan, John Lennon, are rumored to have visited and participated in ceremonies with Maria Sabina. But the community of Huautla de Jimenez and the surrounding region really grew to resent Maria Sabina for letting the secret out. And later in her life, they burned down her house. She became like an outcast in the town, and it's said that she even at the end of her life, she really regretted having, shown this practice outside.
Because all these people came down and started exploiting it.
Exactly.
Yeah.